welcome in to episode 1 of VibezSportsTalk.
Una mas.
You're here with Jordan Huey, my boy.
Matty Bearcat.
And you know, we're going to vibe out, talk about all the hottest topics in sports today.
We are.
It's going to be a good time. Thanks for y'all's support. Feel me? Maybe even hit us a like, subscribe.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, this is about our 5th take of filming this bad boy. Unfortunately, last week we were stuffed at the 1-yard line. Roger Goodell didn't want us to be goddamn great.
He didn't want us to be great at all.
It's alright. We'll get past through it. We're here right now filming the official episode 1 of Vibe Sports. So grab yourself a drink, a snack, whatever you gotta do. Get cozy. Higher up the volume because it's going to be one hell of an episode.
Yes,
you
sir.
ready?
I'm ready to jump right in.
Let's do it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. We have a big day coming upon us in, I believe, 5 days. We have UFC 254 featuring the undisputed, pound for pound, #1, best in the world to ever do it, Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov.
Yes, sir.
Versus the fake wannabe, going on 29-0 champion, thinking that he's gonna, somehow scare Khabib with his own blood, acting like he's never seen his own blood. But we'll get into that a little bit. Huey, I'd love to hear your predictions on this upcoming fight we have on Saturday.
Man, this super fight we got coming up, I can't wait. Literally can't wait. This is gonna be crazy. This fight has got all the hype. Habib hasn't fought in a while. Everyone wants to see him get back in the ring. I want to see him get back in the ring. We thought we were gonna get Habib first, but we got Habib Gaethje because Gaethje went to work. You feel me? And I'm so excited for this fight. This fight is finishing in a knockout or TKO. But Habib and Gaethje are gonna be. It's gonna be crazy. If Gaethje can stop Habib's wrestling, Gaethje has the advantage. If Habib can do what he wants like he does to everyone else, then Habib has the advantage. But let me tell you one thing. Justin Gaethje does have a chance in this fight. He's got a 100% finish rate. He's 22-2, and this is gonna be such an entertaining fight, and I can't wait. That being said, though, I still have Habib winning it.
Yep.
How do you bet against Habib? He's 28-0, going on 29. He's a beast. He's one of the best to ever do it. Like I said, so I give Gaethje more of a chance than most people do because I am impressed by his boxing and his 100% finish rate is impressive.
It is.
And you can't bet against Habib in my opinion. So
you can't.
Definitely going with Habib. I'm thinking like a 3rd round, 4th round TKO type finish.
Okay.
I don't think he knocked Gaethje out, but everyone's talking about how he's not ready to face Habib's grappling. You don't know Habib's good grappling until you face Habib in a way.
Best ever.
And I think if he does get this grappling off and tires Gaethje out, he's not gonna finish Gaethje with a one-hit knockout blow. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely, I could see him wearing Gaethje down over time with the grappling and the striking still.
Oh, yeah.
And then once he wears him down enough on the ground with his grappling, I think Habib wants to prove a point in this fight. He's finished plenty of dudes off with submissions
For sure.
like McGregor and Poirier, but I think it's to the point now he just wants to smash this fool, and I'm excited. I got Habib in that. I would love to hear yours because we all know where you're leaning.
We all already know.
Let me hear why.
This fight.
I would love to hear why.
Now I'm going to tell you why he's going to win the fight.
Let's hear it.
It's very basic and very easy.
Very easy.
Justin Gaethje, sorry, my bad, is tripping fucking ball sacks if he thinks he's going to win this fight. He's overlooking Khabib way too much.
You think he's overlooking him?
He's overlooking him. He's over here talking every single day on this channel and this podcast and this and that saying, I'm going to make him taste his blood. I'm going to take him to this. I'm going to take him to that. Listen, the last 28 people couldn't do it. You think this guy's going to do it? Absolutely not. The only thing this guy has hope in is his overhand. And let me tell you something. Tony Ferguson,
100% finish rate.
The way Tony Ferguson was fighting in that fight versus him,
yeah,
Khabib's not going to do that at all.
Yeah.
Khabib will stand in front of him for a couple seconds. He'll feel him out, but the first thing he's going to do is he's going to shoot. For then he could open up that overhand.
Yeah.
Just like how he did to Conor.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be over in the 3rd round. It's going to be by a choke.
Submission?
By a submission.
Nice.
And you know what? A lot of fighters don't understand is how good, like you're saying, Khabib is on the ground.
Man.
It's when he's on top of other fighters, a lot of people have said he feels like he's a heavyweight almost.
Yeah.
The way he's able to control his weight when he's on top of you is ridiculous. But I do have Khabib winning this fight. But the real question is, who do you think Khabib will fight after this fight? Let's say if he wins, goes 29, he has one more fight on his contract.
He wants to get to 30.
Who does he fight?
I mean, he said it repeatedly. He's not going to fight McGregor, even though we'd all love that. He's not going to... Khabib said time and time again, once he's beat you, he's done with you. So I think he needs a new challenge, and we all know what that is for him from what he said in the past. And it's George St. Pierre.
I absolutely agree with that, 100%. And my problem with that is, will George be able to make it down to 155?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that
The
answer,
one thing I would say about that, the reason I don't want that is because St. Pierre's been out of the game for so long, and it's like we're talking about a guy who's like the best in the
pound
game.
for pound.
Like one of the best, like top 3 in the entire UFC pound for pound.
His last 2 fights, you can
and like
say,
you're telling me
fighters.
for his last fight to be 30-0, it's gonna be against like a washed goat. Like, bruh, he hasn't fought in heck of long.
Yeah,
you're one of the best. You're in the game, and now you want to fight some guy who's been retired. I'm kind of like,
if you look at Khabib's side,
yeah.
No matter what, let's say if he doesn't fight GSP, let's say he goes and fights Conor, he fights Justin, he fights Ferguson,
someone else, yeah.
He beats him, right? Let's just say that.
I like Ferguson.
Looking back at it though, when people sit down and they say, all right, who was the best in that division? The conversation that's going to come up is, okay, well, GSP because they never fought. I think Khabib wants this fight for the whole legacy. All he talks about is legacy.
But then again, like I was saying,
so there's no questions asked. Even if he's old, Khabib doesn't give a blank.
No, I feel it though. I feel it. That's my point though. It's like, how much does Khabib add to his legacy or get like satisfaction from beating a guy who hasn't been fighting for so long? Like just because like other people call him the GOAT, it's like I don't know.
Then what's his satisfaction to get into the ring and get with Conor after you already beat him? What, you just say, okay, what, you beat him twice? You know what I mean?
Money, money, money. That's the money fight, bro.
Yeah,
money talks.
He's a real gangster. He's making millions back at Dagestan.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We will see, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you comment down below who you think will win the fight.
Oh, before we cut it, though, I got to remind you one more thing. That co-main,
Whitaker
versus Cannonier, keep your eye on that because whoever wins that is fighting Adesanya next for his next title defense. And ladies and gentlemen, we are excited for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is about that time when we get into the NFL part of the show.
Oh, yeah.
We're
going to get into
parts. The Niners. All I got to say is what the fuck is going on in that organization right now. Then we'll get into some Raiders conversation.
Sir.
Very interesting. Very surprising, I gotta say. John Gruden.
Yes, sir.
Is he worth that $100 million? We'll find out very soon, ladies and gentlemen. But Jordan, where do you want to start with this whole NFL stuff going on?
I think we got to start with all that turmoil in Dallas.
Oh.
It is looking rough down there.
In Jerryland.
There is lots of problems in Jerryland. I would love to hear your thoughts on Jerryland.
Jerryland, in my opinion, the first thing you got to do this season is scratched. That's it. Second operation
Without
is
Dak?
If I am Jerry, I'm just going to fire Mike McCarthy.
Already?
I'm pulling the trigger on it. You see right now, you have, Dallas on paper. If you're looking at every single team on paper, and you bring in 32 coaches and you say, hey, take a pick at whatever roster you want, I think Dallas might be the most bold. I think that roster right now, how it's constructed, is ready to go out and win a Super Bowl. With everybody healthy.
Even the defense?
Even their defense with the right coaches.
Okay.
With the right coaches.
That defense playing like Swiss cheese.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, these coaches aren't goddamn it, alright?
I mean,
let me tell you something.
All the players came out.
All the players came out, and they did say, I believe, that the coaches are not prepared. So that's very interesting.
No, yeah.
And one thing, though, that's been shocking to me this year is Zeke. He got paid that big money.
Yeah.
And personally, I don't think he's been showing up really.
Really?
And in the Arizona game, especially.
I mean, the other two, he's had a lot of fumbles this year.
He had a lot of fumbles.
That's not characteristic of him either.
Exactly. So he's got to fix that problem. They need to figure out their quarterback situation ASAP.
Without Dak, yeah.
Okay, Dak is the guy, 100%.
Facts. I see it too.
God. Ladies and gentlemen.
What is that? Oh,
we are. I'd like to apologize on my maintenance. That is 100% on me. But while we're at it, and that happened, Would you look at this, ladies and gentlemen, this beautiful Vibe Sports. Make sure you go ahead and pick up your stickers for $3 coming very soon. This coming up week.
Very, very soon.
Back on it, though, Huey. So what do you think the Cowboys should do, in your opinion?
I think, like you said, this season might be a wash, but the only thing saving them is that terrible NFC East. Worst division of football by far. The Cowboys are actually first place, and we're talking about them like this because that division is so trash. We got the Cowboys at 2-4, the Eagles at 1-4-1, and Washington and the New York Giants are 1-5. So like,
very pathetic.
The Cowboys definitely could be a playoff team this year without Dak.
Oh, they will be
because that division is terrible, and Carson Wentz and the Eagles have looked terrible. And if you're an Eagles fan, you're lucky you're in that division. Otherwise, your season might already be a wash. That NFC East is just awful.
The whole entire division.
Yeah.
You know what? Talks about that division and the Eagles. What do you do if you're them? Is Carson the guy?
They've been having this trouble ever since Nick Foles won them that Super Bowl against the GOAT. I don't know, man. I like him. He's got all of his tools and he's got all the intangibles, but like, they haven't been the same since he came back from that injury when Foles took over, if we're being honest. And
he hasn't been.
They need to get him some wide receivers, though.
They do.
The Eagles and the Niners might have the worst wide receiver rooms in football.
Absolutely.
Absolutely dreaded.
Soon. Don't you guys goddamn worry. We'll be getting to that very soon.
But yeah, I mean, that whole division is disappointing. There's teams like the Texans that disappointed me this year. Bill O'Brien scratched their season.
I don't think he ever gets a coaching job in the National Football League.
Maybe a coordinator, not a head coach ever again.
I don't think he gets a coordinating job that at least for 5-6 years.
Wow.
I don't think you'll be seeing him for a while.
Yeah?
I think what he did in Houston and how he destroyed that whole entire organization.
Man.
They're destroyed for
the next 2 years. They don't have a head coach. They don't have a GM. They don't have a first-round pick or a second-round pick this season. They're 1-5.
They have the highest paid roster, I believe, the whole entire league.
Really?
Yes, you got.
Dang, I didn't know that.
I have to fact check that, but I'm not.
I mean, but they're paying a lot of guys big money, and it's like, what are they getting out of it? I don't know. We've talked about this in the past, and that job's no one really wants that job other than you get to coach Deshaun Watson, in my opinion.
Exactly.
And like, they have to get a new GM and a head coach. And I was thinking of this duo that could take over there, because not a lot of people are going to want that job. It's not that enticing. Like, people are going to want it, but you're in turmoil for a little bit. I think if Louis Riddick took the GM job and they hired Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy as their head coach, that's the first step in the right direction for them.
But would you leave the Kansas City Chiefs to go put yourself in that position?
To be a head coach, yes. If you're working with the right GM and the right people. Like, if
you're going to go ahead and take a job that is, you could say, make the argument, one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Make them the best, and then you set your.
Make them the best, knowing you don't have a first or a second.
It's for a year.
You're
it's gonna be tough. Yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
But you get to coach Deshaun.
You do.
Top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
That is true. In my opinion, this is gonna be a long shot, but I do believe they should hire Josh McDaniels.
He's gonna be sought after though. A lot of teams are gonna want to hire him.
He is, and he has been for quite some bit now.
Same with Bieniemy, but I think, dude, Riddick and him together, that's a dominant combo.
If they could get him there, hot take, Lions fire Matt Patricia, he will go ahead and bring Matt Patricia on
as his D coordinator.
Almost
like a Patriots reunion.
It'll be a little Patriots reunion going on in Texas, and they're going to try to recreate what they almost, I'm not going to say they created it, but you know what I mean. They're trying to build that same system, what they had there in Houston, which I think would be great for Houston and Deshaun.
That'd be cool. I like Deshaun a lot, so I'd be happy for him to get a real team around him. Think about this. Deshaun has been this good, and his whole career, you know who his head coach was?
Bill O'Brien.
So think about that. Bro. Yeah, like think about that. So,
and
I would love for him to get in a good situation.
Also, why I say Josh is possibly a good fit for him is because you see what he's doing this year with Cam.
With Cam, yeah.
So you could see that he could fix his play calling for a
running quarterback. Yeah.
So you see it has hope.
And Deshaun, I think, at this point in Cam's career, Deshaun's probably the better passer too.
He is, I think.
So think about that.
And he has the better legs.
Yeah.
Younger, less injuries.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
so yeah. That'd be a nice pickup too for the Texans.
It is. Since we're on these horrible coaches, let's just real quick get on to the Jets.
Oh my God! Fire Adam Gase. I'm not even a Jets fan. Please get rid of that man.
Okay, but if you fire him, I think, by the way their owner talks,
Yeah.
he's going to finish out the season 100%.
100%?
He's finishing out the season. He'll get let go and the season's done. Now, in my opinion...
He's gone by week 8. They're going to be 0-8. They're going to be 0-8.
No, I think they're going to keep him for one reason. Because he could take them to 0-16.
Man.
Because he could take them to 0-16, they're going to keep him. But then my question is, are they going to just give up on Josh?
Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold?
I don't think they should. I've seen good things from Sam Darnold. I like Sam Darnold.
So if you have the first overall pick and you're the
but if Trevor Lawrence is there, I'm taking Trevor Lawrence. I'm taking Trevor Lawrence.
And what are you doing with Sam?
Trading him for whatever I can get, hopefully a second, third rounder. But the thing is, they have to make that decision. They have to make that decision early. Which is what makes it a sticky situation. Because now if they run into this trade deadline, right, and Darnold's value's at its highest point, and they trade him, and then, they take Trevor, blah, 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 but Sam goes on to have this career that, it's so many what-ifs, and it's like they're taking a risk. Because if you trade him mid-season right now, and then you go to the draft and take Lawrence, I think that's a win. But how do you know you're going to be the worst team in football?
No, yeah,
How do you know Lawrence isn't going to be like, the Jets have the first pick, I'm staying in college another year? Or pulls like Eli Manning,
but somebody on ESPN on NFL Network actually said that.
Yeah, pulls Eli Manning and says, nah. I think it was...
Was it Mel Kiper?
No, it was Greeny.
Greeny.
Yeah, he's got the morning show.
Yes, he does. That is who said it.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't be... If I was him, I would very much highly consider it.
No, I would too.
There's no hope there for that team. Not for a long time.
Yeah, there's not. You feel me? I don't think so either. But, yeah, that's rough, bro. You know who I want to talk about too? The Falcons. Just got rid of a coach who took them to the Super Bowl. Just got rid of the GM also. So now there's a GM and head coaching job in Atlanta. And it's like, are they fire sailing? Do Julio and Matt Ryan get traded?
I think they do.
Julio too?
Now, yes.
Oh.
Now, even Ridley. I think the whole entire ship is going.
Ridley too? He's young though. I think they trade Julio because he's the old guy and Ridley's the new star.
Okay, but check this out. You keep Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
By the time he gets into that third year, fourth year, and he's obviously either going to be shitty for the next couple years, he's requesting a trade.
Think so?
So I think they're going to try to just clean house now while you can.
I think Julio and Matt Ryan get traded.
Where to?
Matt Ryan's a little harder to find a spot for.
Can I tell you where? Just because this team is fucking retarded, the Niners would sign him and trade for him.
His best years were with Kyle Shanahan running his offense. That's when they went to the Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan was their offensive coordinator.
Now,
I would like that very much.
At the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if the Niners also traded for Julio. Not for both of them, but for one of them. Either or.
Well, that's what I mean. With Julio, it's so fluid. It's like, who doesn't want Julio?
Exactly.
Let's be real. What fan and what GM front office doesn't want Julio on their team right now?
True. Best receiver in the game right now, would you say?
No, not right. Not right. I mean, he's 1A, 1B.
Okay.
I got D-Hop.
D-Hop in front of him?
I like both of them over Michael Thomas, for sure.
Well, I have Michael Thomas in my 4 or 5.
Yeah, definitely. He's top 5 for sure, no doubt. But my 1A, 1B, my 2 guys at the top, Julio, D-Hop, no questions. Devontae Adams close, too. He's like, if them 2 are 1A, 1B, then it's like Mike Thomas and Devontae Adams are 2A, 2B. Those are like my top 4 receivers for sure. But fire sale in Atlanta.
Big time.
You think so? Who do you think goes first? Julio or Matt Ryan? I think Julio.
Oh, for sure Julio. And okay, I'm gonna be honest. Matt Ryan's not gonna get traded till the offseason. I don't think they do that move in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
I think
that would be an offseason move.
That's an offseason
for a team that thinks they're going to the Super Bowl and they need just a QB, right?
Like
they just need the QB to come over and kind of like hold them steady throughout the year, kind of like a Nick Foles with the Bears right now. But another team we need to talk about, very disappointing this year with a lot of these teams that had playoff hopes, the Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins.
Wow.
Is he done after this year?
Let me tell you something about Cousins.
Kirk
he pulled
Cousins.
an all-time robbery.
Man,
on the
fully
Vikings.
guaranteed. Got another extension
that
just
man
recently, I think.
Should be in jail right now for robbery.
I think he's done after this year.
Done?
Not like in the NFL, but I don't think
backup wise.
I think he starts next year too for them and gets replaced by someone they bring in. Young quarterback in the draft, maybe. They're 1-5. What if they get Trevor Lawrence? What if they just tank?
You know
They're better than the Jets, though, so there's no chance they get that. But Justin Fields is going to be in the draft. There's plenty of quarterbacks that are going to be out there every year in the draft. So
the thing
is Kirk
about
Cousins
the
answer?
Viking is they traded Diggs away.
And replaced him with Justin Jefferson.
They replaced him with there.
Jefferson's nice, though.
He is. Now, my thing is, if they trade away one of the top receivers,
yeah,
regardless of the way he was acting, this and that,
maybe he was right.
The way their team is, they're in a win-down situation.
Yeah, definitely.
So why are you trading away your best receiver? So if they're trading their best receiver away,
because you know why?
That gives me the idea they're ready almost to start expanding.
Their best receiver had beef with this trash quarterback we're talking about right now.
Okay, but true. But even if they have beef, that's like every locker room has those issues.
Yeah, but a quarterback, wide receiver.
So for them to trade him away, it makes me think it's just going to be Thiel next, and then the next, and then the next, and they're another team that are going to go into a whole new rebuild.
Like a fire sale type? I don't think so.
Not a fire sale.
I really feel they're built to win. If they just get a quarterback that's better than Kirk Cousins, in my opinion, they're a playoff team right now. But they're 1-5 because I think he's holding them back. I really do. And honestly, too, one thing that the Vikings might be able to use, change of scenery at head coach.
Big time.
Zimmer been there for...
Zimmer, though, I'm going to tell you something.
How long now?
I think he's a good coach. I don't think it should be a fire for Zimmer. I think it should be a mutual part ways.
Yeah.
And I think he'd be the head coach that would get higher, possibly to Atlanta. I think Atlanta could use him immediately.
Yeah.
If they didn't want to tear a house apart, I think he'd be a good
a coach to bring in to still win now.
Yeah,
I agree. He's definitely like a vet coach, but I think the Vikings though need a new face of running their team as head coach because
young, or just you need to bring in that guy
just someone new.
Just someone new.
They just need to change it up. It's just same old thing. Same old thing isn't working. Exactly.
So you think it's a culture thing?
Yeah, I think for them it's just same old thing isn't working. Like over and over. Like look where they're at now. I think he's been their coach for so long. They just need that change of mentality and coaching, and I think that'd be a great thing.
Me too.
I'm really excited because I think we're on the same page here. We're going to get into some Raiders-Niners talk, aren't we?
We are, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We have all been waiting for.
The moment we all want. Would you like to start with your whiners? They impressed me this week. I can't hate. They impressed me this week.
Impressed me
it's a bounce back.
In absolutely zero ways of impressing me.
They bounced back,
They're just hurting us and falling more down and down in this draft. They're not going to win the goddamn Super Bowl. That's a goddamn
They're in the toughest division in football.
Next.
Toughest division.
If you know you're not going to win the Super Bowl, why in the hell are we out here winning games? If we know this shit is a wash already, let's not be silly, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, we can't all tank, right?
Hey, we can't all tank, but when you're going out there trying to win games that are just like for no point, and you could easily just kind of give it to them, you give it to them. Let the other team win. Why not?
I mean, y'all looked good this week, though. You're in the toughest division in football, but you're still in the thick of things right now.
Okay,
it's only week 6. But you get to play Seattle twice. You get to face the Rams one more time.
But let's be realistically. Come on. The way the Niners, with all their injuries and everything right now, you're not going to beat Seattle twice, let alone once. The Rams was...
Do you think the Niners make playoffs this year?
No. That's why
no chance? Zero chance they make playoffs.
I'm not going to say zero chance. I'll give them out of 100, 40%.
That's pretty solid. I'm thinking like 50-50 for them.
I'm giving them a 40. Just because the defense is very suspect. You can't rely on that quarterback at all.
Got to get healthy for your defense.
And the running backs have just
can't rely on the quarterback at all. Jimmy G.
At all, you can't rely on him.
Taking shots.
At all. Not taking shots. It's the facts. Caused me a Super Bowl. People say, oh, you guys were undefeated. 7-0, 6-0, 5-0. When the season first started last year, it doesn't matter. We had to run the ball. Guess what? Run the fucking ball. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because we couldn't throw the ball. We couldn't trust him. He throws behind the receivers. And when he does throw it, it's, let me close my eyes. Debo's got to be somewhere.
Man.
And what do you know? It's a pick every single time, pretty much. And, basically, the Niners just need to look themselves in the face at the end of this year and say, all right.
They got a pretty tough next 3 games, too.
They do. We have, I believe, Green Bay, the Patriots, and Seattle. Okay, I'll tell you guys this. If they go out, do you know the exact order? Do we have it?
Yeah, you got Patriots this week, Seahawks, then you got the Packers.
If they go out and they beat the Patriots, okay. All right. If you go out next week and you beat the
Seahawks,
Seahawks,
yeah.
then, okay, just then, you can maybe sit down and be like, do we go for it?
Yeah.
But then in reality, when it comes to that playoff mode, I just don't think with all the injuries, they're not going to be able to get that playoff win when it comes down to it. And
it's not the same defense. You can't just rely on the defense the whole time. Yeah.
And we're going to have to rely on the passing game. We don't have the receivers yet. I like the core we have at receivers. You brought it up earlier that we might have the worst receiver core. I could agree with that in some way, but also
Debo saves that room.
Ayuk.
Debo saves that room.
We have Debo.
Ayuk, he's nice. He's up and coming though. That's what I mean. Like
they're young.
Established receiving rooms in the NFL. It's like y'all are like for sure bottom barrel. Like if it wasn't for Debo, it'd be rough. And rough. even with Ayuk, because I think Ayuk's good too. But him and Debo,
he's been a little injured this year.
Yeah, but dude, if y'all didn't have Debo, I think that would be so rough. Like what wide receivers? Kendrick Bourne, Mr. Drop Slot.
Sorry to cut you off, but ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let you know now. If you go ahead and comment Jared McKinnick's name anywhere on the YouTube page or Instagram page, you will be permanently blocked and not allowed to watch any content from Vibe Sports. We will not be saying his name. He robbed us. He's pathetic and he's a joke. Huey, go ahead and continue with what you were saying.
But yeah, Debo saves that wide receiver room. And Kittle, obviously. Kittle,
big time. Best tight end right now in the game.
I was just going to say, I think he's officially overtaken Kelsey for me. I think it goes Kittle, Kelsey, and then from there on you can flip and flop Waller, Andrews, and Ertz, depending on Ertz having a bad year, though.
Now, I want to ask your opinion on something about the Niners that's a very just interesting and hot take that's going to be happening. Now, 90% of these Niner fans call me crazy because I say Jimmy G's not the guy.
Okay.
Now, talking from a Raider fan that is not a Niner fan that looks at the Niners from a distance, do you think Jimmy G is a guy and a franchise guy? If you took Jimmy G, put him on the Raiders right now, how comfortable are you feeling?
I wouldn't be that comfortable. I just think where you guys are at, once you guys get healthy especially, you're already in win-now mode. You have a solid defense when they're all healthy. I just don't know if you can trust Jimmy. Like, even Niner fans say. Like, I'm not having any bias here as a Raider fan. I just think it's like, he just doesn't seem like the guy for you. It seems like when I think of the Niners, even last year when you guys were so good, like you were dominating everyone.
He's too nice.
Who's the one thing holding you back? It's not your defense. I mean, it's not the run game. The run game's dominant. The O-line's pretty solid. Like, you thinking you're like, can you trust Jimmy to win you a game? Can you trust him to just? Can you trust him to go out there and just win you a game?
Let me give you an example of how I know Shanahan alone.
And he throws a lot of ducks.
Trust Jimmy Garoppolo.
Throws a lot of ducks too.
Huey, if you're in the Super Bowl, with a minute 30 left on the opposing 30-yard line, driving down.
Yeah.
Minute 30. All right. I believe the game was tied.
Okay.
I believe it was 7-7.
Okay.
Are you just gonna take a knee and run down the clock? Or with that minute 30 with your 2 timeouts.
Oh, at half?
Going into half.
Okay.
Are you going to try to sling it down?
I'm trying to put points up.
Trying to put points up?
Trying to put points up. As many points as you can.
So if you have a minute 30 in your court and your head coach says, you know what? Let me just take some knees real quick.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? In the Super Bowl.
He doesn't trust his quarterback to not turn the ball over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, that just tells you right there that it's time for us to move on, in my opinion.
I mean, he hits that throw to Emmanuel. You guys are Super Bowl champs. Straight up. He hits that throw to Emmanuel Sanders. That's it.
You have to put it on Jimmy for making the overthrow. Emmanuel, a great route.
He was
wide
open. I don't remember how much the pressure got to him. I think he overthrew it, huh?
He overthrew it.
That's tough. That wins you a Super Bowl. One pass.
And there's another pass in the Super Bowl,
but
too.
I think y'all could definitely replace him with someone that Shanahan trusts more and likes. Like you brought up earlier, maybe Matt Ryan to the Niners.
Matt Ryan, possibly.
His best years were with Shanahan.
Exactly.
And I think he trusts him enough because he can sling it still, but I don't know, man. I don't think Jimmy G is your guys' answer, though.
He's not our answer at all. But the problem with the Niners, though, is now if you're going to go out and get that new quarterback, per se, if you're going to go out and trade for a Matt Ryan or let's say somehow like get a Cam Newton in the offseason.
Can't give up too much for him.
It's not even give up too much for him, but if you're going to go out and get that older quarterback, that means you're going to win now situation.
Well, so I think you guys are.
Adding the pieces?
Yeah, I think you guys are in a win now situation.
But then you were saying that they need a receiver, so what do they do with the receiver?
Draft.
So you're saying just keep drafting. Just keep trusting the draft.
If you look at this draft, there was like 10 receivers in the first 2 rounds drafted, and look how many are going off. Ruggs is a beast. CeeDee Lamb's a beast. Ayuk's been having. Jerry Judy's had his moments.
Exactly.
So Claypool's had his moments. Justin Jefferson, like, dude, receivers. Man, if you guys can get like Jamar Chase at the end of the first round from LSU.
Yeah, that would be
with
nice.
Shanahan.
That would be nice.
Him, Debo, and Ayuk. That room is vastly improved, I think. But
last thing on the Niners for you, Huey.
Last thing on the
Let me get a
Niners?
score prediction. What do you
against
think?
what, the Patriots?
Against the Patriots this coming up week. Go ahead and put the lock in.
Is it in New England? It's in XF.
I believe it's in New England.
If it's in New England, oof. I got it as a
Might need a fact check.
I got it as a close one. I think New England wins.
Really?
Maybe. That defense is still legit, and the offense has been struggling. And
Yep.
I mean, they had the COVID thing with Cam. He didn't play.
Is he back though? I think he'll be back this week.
He came back this week too. But remember, then Gilmore and 2 others in the organization tested positive, so they haven't been playing or practicing.
True.
They hadn't practiced. They practiced one day before playing the Broncos this last Sunday. So I think they'll come back refreshed a little bit. Belichick will coach them up again. I don't know. That one's a tough one to call, honestly, for me. It's gonna be a close one though. It's not gonna be a blowout on either side, I don't think.
Definitely not.
Probably within like a touchdown.
Yeah, I was thinking 20 like 8, 20 like 4, something like this, or like 27, 20, like something in the 4, like 5, 6 point range.
Yeah.
It's gonna be close, but I have the Patriots winning it.
Interesting.
Just because of their defense.
Yeah, their defense is raw, dude. Still.
The Niners secondary is just horrendous.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to kill them with Cam back there scrambling, letting their receivers just go back and forth.
Yeah,
so we'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the D-line does against Cam.
An interesting topic that I know you're ready to get into.
Yes, sir. My surprise Raiders.
How about them Raiders, baby?
Man, a little surprised or what?
Oh.
I'm not too surprised.
I am taken back.
Really. Man, Mike Mayock, John Gruden, keep doing what you're doing. Handling business.
They are.
When you talk about perfect situation coming together, once Mayock got there, it all fell into place. Gruden wanted to coach. I don't think he really wanted to run his roster, but when he first got there, all the turmoil with our GM, McKenzie, and everybody, it was bad. So I think he took over, cleaned house himself, trading Amari and Khalil and everyone, getting what he can back, and cleaned house, and said, I want this type of player, this type of player, this type of player, and said, who can help me find him? And he brought in the best in the game, and Mike Mayock, and look at what's happened since. Every year, Gruden's improved the record. Every year, the roster's gotten better. Every year, you've seen strides from Carr under Gruden's system. And honestly, I'm not as surprised as most are about this year. Like, after last year, we went 7-9. We had a chance in like week 13 against the Chiefs to take the first place spot in the division last year. I'm not surprised at all, honestly. I'm excited, but I'm not surprised. I'm happy to see how we navigated our schedule at first, because our schedule was tough.
It was.
And then it's going to get easier, which I'm happy about. But let me hear your thoughts on it, because we all know I'm not too shocked, but I want to hear why you're a little shocked.
Well, I'm shocked by the quarterback play.
Derek Carr's
that
had a good year.
Is what surprises me the most.
I've been an advocate of his. A lot of haters for him.
In my opinion, the reason why I think he's playing the way he's playing is because Marcus Mariota sparked a light under his ass to make him every game remember, if I mess up, there's somebody right behind me ready to take my spot.
I definitely could see that. I also think he's getting more comfortable too.
Exactly. And in the past, he never had that backup to really push him.
Yeah.
Also, in the past, besides the last 3 years, how long Gruden's been there now? 3 years?
3 years. This is 3 years.
Besides the last 3 years, he never had a consistent playbook.
Dude, new offensive coordinator and coach like every year.
So now you have him going into his 3rd year with Gruden, the same playbook.
It's comfy.
He's understanding why Gruden is calling this play, calling that play.
He's like a coach on the field now almost. He's so comfortable with the playbook. 3 years. Think about it. When you haven't had the same playbook for a year, now imagine having the same instructions for 3 years all of a sudden. And it's like, you're just like, oh, it's the same thing. It's
one
just
thing
variations.
that helps him out a lot that I've noticed is letting Ruggs just fly up the middle, up the sideline. That opens up your guys' field tremendously.
They're 3-0 when Henry Ruggs plays.
Yes.
Our 2 losses came when he didn't play.
He was out.
Yeah. And he just changes the whole offense, opens it up. That's why Gruden and Mayock went draft him. That's what I mean. Gruden wants a specific player, and Mayock figures out who's gonna fit, why they're gonna fit, and if Gruden can coach him up. And it's like, honestly, I love the draft now. As a Raider fan, as all Raider fans know, the draft used to be miserable. Just go look at the history in the past. But now it's like a fun thing. Like, you look forward because you know we're going to get some good players. You feel me? Ladies and gentlemen, Maddie might be fired from what is
Oh, my God!
Oh, no.
Oh, my God, ladies and gentlemen.
This doesn't look good.
This doesn't look good at all.
Oh, there we go.
Fire! Fire!
Sorry for that.
My bad.
Nah. But, yeah, I'm excited for this Raiders team. Our next 3 games, though, our last 2 big tests of the year, I think. We get the Chiefs one more time, but we finally can just...
Real quick to touch on that game.
Yeah.
I think they're going to scrape your guys' asses and are coming back.
They're going to be pissed. They're going to be pissed, yeah.
They're pissed.
I mean, I was just surprised, even though I said I'm not surprised about the season. That game
but I'll give it to
was
you.
great to watch.
It was.
Killed some demons up in Kansas City. Man, like, that was a good win as a Raider fan.
One thing I can say, though, as a football fan, and not, just like as an Iron fan to hate on you guys with this, I'm going to give credit where credit is due,
Yeah.
You guys went into that game prepared.
Yeah.
That Chiefs game. And ready to win.
Yeah, we knew we had a chance. People were writing us off, overlooking us.
The Chiefs were overlooking you guys very much. And
very much
talking
so.
about the Chiefs and you guys' GM and your coach, I think you guys are trying to build a Kansas City Chiefs team. I think that's why you guys went out. You got Ruggs.
Yeah. Gruden said he wanted his own Tyreek Hill. Guess what we got?
Your Tyreek Hill.
That's what I mean.
Now imagine if you guys had Antonio Brown. Damn.
We don't talk about that clown.
Damn.
Clown Brown doesn't get talked about.
Business is booming.
Business is not booming. He's probably sitting somewhere. I don't want to get into it.
He's rapping right now.
I don't want to get into it.
He's rapping.
On to the next. We'll talk about the next 3 games because I don't want to get into that topic. The Bucks in Vegas on Monday Night Football.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm going to have the Bucks winning that game just based on one thing. Your defensive coordinator is going to cause you guys that game. I'm calling it right now.
I think so. I hate our defensive coordinator.
The Bucks have way too many weapons for your guys' defensive coordinator to handle.
Yeah, I don't like our defensive coordinator. I think that's the one thing the Raiders need to fix is our defensive coordinator.
Also, I think you guys are in the same boat as the Niners with DB and secondary help. I like Abram.
Yeah.
But your DBs in particular...
Mullen's good.
I think you guys could use 1 or 2 more pieces.
I mean, we just drafted a lot of young ones. Like, we got Mullen, who's a 2nd rounder. Arnett's a 1st rounder. Abrams a 1st rounder. So, like, it's a young secondary, but I've definitely seen, like, some strides, which is good. Arnett's hurt right now, which sucks. He's had that thumb injury for a while, even back in Ohio State and stuff. But I like the secondary. Mullen is, like, slept on. He's, like, almost a lockdown at this point. He had some trouble with Diggs, but I mean, who doesn't have trouble with Diggs? He's one of the best receivers, and it's in his 2nd year. Like, he's still learning. Like, you know what I mean? He doesn't even have. I don't think he has 16 starts yet, because he missed. He didn't start last year to start off, and then he played at the end. But you know what I mean? He only got 16 games under the belt, and he's shadowing number 1s for us. So
for sure,
I really like him. But yeah, I'm interested for the Sunday night game. Here's a little twist I gotta throw in here.
Let me hear it.
If we beat the Bucks, Derek Carr will have beat Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady in 3 of his 4 wins to start the year.
That is... I don't give a fuck! All old-ass motherfuckers. Not impressed.
Mahomes?
Oh, besides Mahomes.
Besides Mahomes? The GOAT?
Coming off 4-game win streaks, they're taking overshadowing the Raiders.
Those 3 wins are big wins for Carr.
I'm just kidding. They are huge wins, and you gotta. That's what I say. You gotta look at the Raiders, and you gotta think, will they make the playoffs this year?
I think so. I think I don't want to say I think we make the playoffs, but I think we have a good chance. I'd give our chances around like 50-50, 60%.
Okay. All right.
Because the AFC is tougher than the NFC in my opinion because we don't have the East, the weak ass East, the West. You feel me? But I mean, we got a chance. That extra playoff spot helps everybody. Think about that, and like the only person in our division that's gonna give us trouble is the Chiefs, and we handled them in the first one. As a Raider fan, I'm thinking this is more possible than most. Do you think we have a chance to upset the Chiefs for the West?
Absolutely not. No chance at all.
Fair enough.
Sorry to break it to you.
No, fair enough.
But will not happen. And for the next 10 years,
Mahomes going to run the division.
You guys just need to be prepared for that 2 years where you guys can maybe slip in there, catch them slipping 1 year.
Yeah.
But for the next 10 years, your team needs to be ready for the wild card.
Yeah, damn near.
And just be ready to go to war.
No, I agree. That's why I said as a Raider fan, obviously we're more optimistic than most. But I just say that because last year we went to play them in Kansas City and had a chance to take over the number 1 seed.
Exactly.
That was late in the year, too.
It was.
So I'm thinking, and we look better this year. We got dominant O-line. Dominant O-line. Offense is well above average. Carr is leading the offense beautifully. If the defense shows up, man, we might actually be a problem.
You guys could be.
The only thing is though, like when we face great QBs, we just get absolutely diced up. That's why the performance our defense had too in Kansas City was the thing that shocked me the most. Not that the offense went blow for blow with the Chiefs, because our offense is.
Except the defense showed up.
The defense showed up.
They did.
And that surprised me.
But that's why I say though, like how you said that when you have that veteran quarterback there, they just dice them up. That's why I say that the Bucs
probably gonna beat us. Yeah.
And I think they'll go away with that win.
Only way we beat them is if we literally get to Brady all night long.
Exactly.
He can't be comfortable at all because if he's sitting back there, he's gonna be slicing our. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. But I'm interested to see. I think we could beat the Bucs though. I think we could do it, and I think we could beat Cleveland, and I think we could beat the Chargers. And you know what? I think one extra motivation for this Bucs game is my last thing on the Raiders here. Derek Carr. All offseason, heard people calling for his job. He hears it all the time.
Yeah, yes.
Who was the one name everyone was linking with the Raiders?
Cam.
Tom Brady. Brady should go to Vegas. Brady should break in Vegas.
That was actually.
This, that. Dana White got Brady on freaking Instagram Live. Oh, Brady to the Raiders. Brady this. Carr even went on record after we won the first game in Vegas against New Orleans saying, when I pulled up, Brady was on the front cover of the Las Vegas Journal saying, like, is he going to come be the quarterback of the Raiders? Derek Carr wants to beat Brady more. He's got an extra motivation for this game, and I'm going to be very interested to see how he comes out this next game.
We will find out.
But I want to move on to top 10 teams in the NFL, Maddie.
Exactly. Ladies
I need
and
to
gentlemen,
hear it.
Give me a drum roll, please.
All right.
10-1.
Yeah.
All right. At number 10, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Arizona Cardinals.
Hot take. Top 10 Cardinals team?
What a performance it had by the little Cowgirl team.
Yeah, they dominated the Cowgirls. Dude, Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, lethal.
Very much. Kendrick Drake finally showed up.
Finally.
Especially for fantasy owners. Congrats to you fantasy owners.
Finally, Kendrick Drake paid off all you fantasy owners out there.
Gotta say.
Love to see that for y'all. But yeah, Cardinals surprise team. Hot take, but I like them. They're young and
me too.
They're making plays.
On the rise.
Yeah, definitely. And then the Bucs at 9.
The Bucs. We're just talking about them a little bit. They have lots of weapons.
Defense is dominant. Two of the best linebackers in the NFL. Did you see them this week against?
Lights out.
Oh man.
Absolutely lights out.
Their defense carries them, and you can always count on Brady to be a steady hand on the offense. So, got them at 9.
Number 8.
Another surprise team.
We have the Bears.
The Bears. The only thing with the Bears is, obviously based off their record, they're 5-1. They've played great this year. When does the QB situation start to unravel for them? When does Nick Foles? No, I think he's a stoppage because they know they have a win now defense. So they're like, all right, we got to get a veteran guy here and try and win. I don't think the Bears are for real. I think as the year goes, pretenders.
They win their division.
No, Green Bay does.
Green Bay runs away with it.
Green Bay runs away with it in the end.
Okay,
I think so. Number 7. A little bit of a surprise. They've had a little bit of a slip up these last 2 weeks.
They did.
The Buffalo Bills.
Ooh, Josh Allen.
The last 2 weeks.
Boom!
Everyone, the first 4 weeks, talking about him as a possible MVP candidate.
That is true.
These last 2 weeks, though.
Kind of fell off a little bit, though, with that performance by that team.
Big time.
But still in the race. Still possibly could push for a Super Bowl title.
That defense is raw, too. Their offense is good, but with him, it's like it scares you because everyone was talking about, oh, these first 4 games, MVP candidate. Maybe he got away from this inaccurate quarterback that just slings it in the past, and then now it's like these 2 games come back again, and it's like
He's back.
Is he back to that?
We'll find out.
Yeah, you feel me? So it's
But at number 6, ladies and gentlemen,
took a beating this week.
The Cheesehead
Green Bay Packers. That offensive line got dominated.
In my opinion, I think if Green Bay goes out and signs, I'm sorry, plug your ears, Antonio Brown, they could possibly win the NFC and represent them in the Super Bowl.
Did you say clown?
No. We said business is booming. Antonio Brown.
Oh, Antonio Clown. I know that. I know that guy.
But if they made the move for him, or they made a move for any receiver, I know we talked about.
They need a number 2. They don't have a number 2.
Exactly.
Devontae's a GOAT, but they need a number 2.
They need another guy out there.
Yeah, facts.
And I think they can make a very big push and would help that team out a lot.
Have any ideas for that? Number 2 guy they can try and acquire? What about AJ Green?
What about Ross? Just requested
John
a
Ross
trade.
too?
One of those 2 fools from the Bengals.
One of them, because think about it, they got Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins.
Exactly.
Wide receivers of the future.
So
Green and Ross on the way out.
That might be the move.
Yeah. No, they need a number 2. What about Marvin Jones maybe? In division trade.
Possibly, but I don't think they do in division trade. That's just not
doesn't happen a lot.
Exactly.
Doesn't happen a lot, but
so we'll see.
Yeah.
But
they definitely need number 2, I agree.
At number 5, Mr. Huey, who do we got?
We got my boy Lamar. Big trust.
Woo!
Come on, you can't take Baltimore out of top 5. They're back in this thing.
They are.
You can count on them.
For sure.
Their defense is dominant too.
Big time.
Do they have the best defense in the NFL?
No. I think there's one more defense that is very
I think we might be on the same page here.
That has the best defense in the NFL, and it's the reason why they're in our top 5 and undefeated still.
Yep.
So we'll get to that very soon.
Actually, they're next.
Oh!
The Steelers at number 4.
Would you look at that?
At number 4, we got the Steelers undefeated. What can you say? Big Ben comes back. Big lift.
Unbelievable, the Steelers.
And that defense.
Mike Tomlin.
Ooh, Mike Tomlin.
What a coach.
Steady. Him and John Harbaugh. That's crazy.
They are.
They've been in that division against each other for
quite some time.
So long.
Do you know what, though? To be honest, Harbaugh is not too impressed. I'm more impressed with what the Steelers have done.
Yeah, because even when they're in a shitty situation, Tomlin coaches them to be competitive.
Exactly.
They're always competitive. But Baltimore, they definitely had their years.
They're up and they're down, and then
but now with Lamar, they're going to be steady.
I'm telling you what, though, if they go to the playoffs this year, they'll get it. They'll get in there.
Yeah, they're going to get it.
And they get bounced out around 1.
Lamar.
You might need to look at the whole entire coaching staff as possibly gone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe not John, but maybe new coordinators.
New coordinators, you're thinking? You're thinking keep John.
Yeah.
Really?
Steady presence, and he gives Lamar that trust.
Really?
That big trust.
So you're thinking, who would you bring in for a coordinator, though? That has that run style background.
Maybe a new type of young guy. West Coast offense is going crazy. John McVay is all over. Or Sean McVay.
We will see later on.
Sean McVay and stuff. And then our top 3. Is there a surprise for you guys? At number 3.
We have the Kansas City Chiefs.
At 3 this week after another win against the Bills. Showed us something. Bounced back after that loss to my Raiders.
The Chiefs will forever be there for the next couple of years.
Yeah, they're going to be a steady top 5 power ranking team for a while, I think.
Exactly. And you know what? Talking about the Chiefs.
Just added Le'Veon.
Exactly. The rich just got richer.
Woo!
And, geez, I don't know what that offense is going to do now with him out there.
It's crazy. Edwards-Helaire just ran for like 160 yards, and then they get Le'Veon to add to the mix. It's like...
It's ridiculous.
Jesus.
And what he's gonna do for that passing game too.
Yeah, he's such a good pass catching. He's probably one of the best pass catching backs in the NFL still.
Oh, for sure.
Still, him and Aaron Jones probably the top 2.
And he has a lot to prove, so he'll be going out there hungry.
Yep.
So he'll be keeping an eye out on him.
I think
in
so
the
too.
weeks.
Another undefeated team. Are they a surprise?
They are not a surprise.
Even after
last year,
the COVID outbreak. At number 2, we have the Tennessee Titans, undefeated.
AKA, we don't give a fuck, and we're going to do whatever we want in our building. If we want to wear a mask, we're going to wear one. If not, then don't walk near us or don't record us.
Out of pocket, almost cost us the season, bro.
Woo!
Man, but Derrick Henry, possible MVP candidate? We will get into that later, but possible MVP candidate?
That later. I do think so. I think he's up there.
I do too.
Big time.
That defense, Titans defense raw too. 4 of the top 5 teams in our power ranking go through the AFC.
Yes, they do. That's incredible. Incredible right now.
Interesting.
And we will see. Because you know what? Actually, that AFC a couple years ago, you could say it was almost one of the worst.
Yeah, the AFC was rough.
Before Mahomes came in, dude, which was not too long ago.
The thing that sucks, though,
they weren't all that.
You can't say the AFC is the worst, though, because every single year, you know what division just makes the NFC trash? Same one that's doing it this year. The NFC East.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure the Cowboys made it in the playoffs last year with the under 500 record.
I don't even know if it's possible, but they need to somehow demolish that
switch teams,
switch
drop a couple teams in different.
Drop a couple and switch it.
I don't think that's gonna be able to happen, but that division always is just
it's trash.
Ridiculous. The thing is, though, I agree with you because I don't get how I've always said this. How are the Cowboys who play in Texas on the NFC East?
Yeah, it's
a little weird, I think.
But it's whatever.
Yeah, it's hard to figure that out geography-wise and all that. But our number one team in the power rankings, Maddie, are they Seahawks? Russell Wilson.
Impressive.
Man,
I gotta say, since we're in it, let's just go ahead and jump.
Yeah, because the last three teams we talked about have MVP candidates.
Let's put your top three out right now in order for candidate-wise.
After what happened this last week to Green Bay, I'm going to take Rodgers out of that. 2 picks.
Really?
Pick 6. It's a week-by-week thing. You got to perform week by week, week in, week out.
I have to agree on that. MVP is a week-by-week.
It's like you have to perform every week of the season. And for me right now, I got my top 3. It's going to be Russ.
Okay.
No, in order, I think, actually. Russ 1.
Okay.
Derrick Henry at number 2. And Mahomes, you can't ever bet against him. That boy can come into this. He's at number 3.
So I'm going to have to pretty much agree on that entire list. But as for right now,
yeah,
I would maybe possibly scratch out Mahomes.
Interesting.
Possibly. And I would consider possibly throwing in, this is going to be a long shot, but Kyler Murray. If you look at his numbers, they have been impressive.
Yeah.
And
he's going to have his rushing yards too.
He is. And I think if the Cardinals could just find their way on a little hot streak,
especially
after last week,
and if say he wins the division,
that's a hot take for him. This year win the division.
I
don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
But if he does, and you have to put him above Russ in the votings.
And that's the best division in football.
Exactly. You have to put him above Russ.
It's the best division in football. If Kyler Murray somehow finds a way to win the NFC West, I think he might be our MVP.
But what if Tennessee finds themselves only losing 2 games and you have Derrick Henry all season putting the team on his back? Does he steal it somehow?
I could see it. I'd love to see it. When was the last time?
1,300 yards.
He's gonna run for that. Easily. I think
he's run for that.
Yeah, I think he's already got like 700.
He's already at 700.
Something like that. He's ran for 200 last week.
Well, if he hits 14 or 15, you almost have to give it to him.
Yeah.
That's almost like even if Russ goes 16-0 or whatever.
When was the last time? I need to look this up because that's why I'm gonna put this on the tape. When was the last time a position player other than quarterback won the MVP?
Adrian Peterson.
I think it was him.
What was that? 2009, 8,
something like that.
Ooh.
It's pretty crazy. Derrick Henry could be the first in a long time.
Do you know what? I don't think he will be, though, when it comes down to it, because if they were going to give it to running backs and do the whole running back thing, they would have gave it to McCaffrey.
Yeah, I agree.
That 1 year.
Yeah.
So it's a very biased thing.
It definitely is. It's a quarterback award almost, but I would love to see a running back get it.
Same. In my opinion, I'm surprised they don't have players voting.
Like MVP. Players voting for that stuff.
If that was the case, I think you wouldn't actually see as many quarterbacks winning it.
Yeah.
And I think that is the reason why they do that.
I agree.
But we'll see, ladies and gentlemen.
I am very excited for this week. Make sure y'all tune back in. You feel me? The football segment next week is going to get even more heated.
And we're going to get more in depth next week in the Niners roster, the Raiders roster.
We'll see how the Raiders handle the Bucks, how the Niners handle the Patriots.
Yep.
I'm interested.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's the end of the football
segment. Off to the next segment.
All right, guys. It's time for our World Series predictions. In this segment of the show, we cover the World Series. We got the Dodgers back in the World Series, playing the Tampa Bay Rays. You know, I'm interested in this one. I'd like to hear what you guys say about it, Matty.
This is do or die for the Dodgers. Basically,
Agreed.
If you lose this series, it's a big slap in the face to LA, to your fan base, and it's just a huge disappointment, and
Agreed.
they will always be remembered for just losing and not getting the job done, this specific team.
Man.
And if they lose, then I would start tearing apart the team. Start trading away Kershaw, Turner, the next person, and the next. But, in my opinion, they will not lose this series. It will finally, after the long waiting time, the Dodgers will finally get their World Series. But, does it really count?
It does. Just like all the sports this year, they count, but everyone has to deal with COVID, so
okay.
No one's at an advantage, in my opinion, but I totally agree with you. The Dodgers losing 3 of the last 4 World Series, even though they did lose to the cheating Astros, and the Red Sox, who also supposedly cheated. I mean,
give or take.
You gotta win one, right? Like, come on. Like, losing 3 of the last 4 World Series is just going to be heartbreaking for a franchise.
For sure.
Something that's tough to even come back from, I think. Like you said, like, they might even go into, like, rebuild, sell mode. You never know. Like, when you come up short that many times, maybe a new head coach, like...
Oh, definitely time. If they
you know what I
lose
mean?
the series, they're fine. The first thing they do is they're fine.
I definitely do also predict the Dodgers winning this one. Finally getting that ring that they've been going for so long. I got them probably winning in, like... I think it's gonna be like a 5-game series.
Yep.
They probably.
I think I don't want to sweep.
I don't want to underestimate the Rays, because I think the Rays are really good. They have good pitching.
Yeah,
they're young.
Their pitching.
Their pitching is good. They're a young team, and they live and die by the home run. And that might be problematic in this series. You know why? Because the Dodgers can swing with the best of them. The Dodgers will pop balls out of the yard too, and their pitching is also dominant. So I think, like you said, in the end for this World Series prediction, Dodgers finally get that elusive World Series they've been chasing for a while now.
Hey, and it's a big reason why I think if the Dodgers need to win this World Series is they made the big splash trade for Mookie.
Oh, yeah.
So if you lose this one, it's more just even a slap in the face, because they're not saying, why
did
we
trade
for this guy?
Exactly.
And we still couldn't get the job done.
Man.
So we're going to find out, guys, very soon. By episode 2, we should have a winner, I believe.
think we should make MVP predictions for the series too.
Really?
They play 7 straight days.
They do.
We got to make a prediction. I'm going with Mookie.
I am going to go Mookie. Actually, I'm going to go Kershaw.
Kershaw.
I believe he had the bump today.
Yep.
They got the win.
Indeed.
And he'll get the bump again. Game 4.
Give or take, maybe game 5.
Maybe game 5.
I think probably game 5.
If they have up 3-0,
do they throw him out there?
I think they throw him out there.
Maybe. He's struggling in the postseason in the past, so that's like always something you got to be wary of.
Okay, check this out.
Up 3-0 though? He definitely comes out the pen.
Exactly. Maybe in the 5th.
Yeah, to close out the game or like dominate.
As soon as they're up by 1 or 2 or 3, I think they throw him in there.
Yeah.
So I think I wouldn't shock me.
I wouldn't be surprised either. We just both, not both, but I predicted Mookie as MVP. But I wouldn't be surprised either if Bellinger takes it.
Really?
Him and Mookie, they've both been MVPs already. They're in the same lineup. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if either one of them wins MVP. But my prediction is Mookie, because Mookie takes over in the postseason. Like, he shows up in big moments. Big time players make big time plays.
Okay, I like that.
Big time moments. And Mookie does that. He's got that experience too. Mookie's won a title. So
true. He has experience.
Yeah.
He brings the leadership.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Mookie MVP, Dodgers in probably like 5.
Okay, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
don't underestimate them Rays, though.
Find out.
Don't underestimate them Rays. I might be eating my words, because them Rays they're a scrappy bunch for sure.
Hey, just takes that pitching staff to get going, and once they're going, and
or that lineup, like I said, they live and die with the home run ball. And
True.
I said the Dodgers can swing with the best of them, but if the Rays get hot enough, start popping them out left and right, like, can't sleep on them. That lineup breaks.
Absolutely not.
But yeah.
We will find out, ladies and gentlemen.
We will find out. Next week, we'll be coming to you with the post-World Series talk and recapping how the series went and played out.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to the baseball segment. Tune in next week to find out if our predictions were right or did we shit the bed on it.
Freezing cold. Takes. Tune in. Guys, that's the end of VibezSportsTalk episode 1. It only took 4 tries.
Only 4.
But we did it. And thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you remember to like, subscribe, show some love, comment on the YouTube, let your friends know about it. We appreciate it. We got some big things coming your way. Maddie's going to take over and let y'all know what's coming.
Listen up, people. very important information right now. Next week, by Wednesday, we will be posting the official VibezSportsTalk stickers that you could purchase by next week. Hit us up in the DMs if you're interested in purchasing one for $3 to help out Vibe Sports. And ladies and gentlemen, like Mr. Huey said, like, comment, share this video with your friends, your mom, your dad, your grandma, your sister, your
anyone
brother.
who likes to vibe and talk about sports. Bless you.
God bless my soul.
But yeah, thank you guys again. See you next week.
Thank you.